When it comes to generating leads through content, there are only really two things you ever really need to talk about. And this is something I've seen coaching hundreds of mortgage advisors and also noticing it myself with what I talk about, that it is literally just boiling down to these two things. If you cover these two things in your content, either one at a time or both together, whatever you want to do, you are going to generate leads over time. If you don't, however, though, you might get some, but you're not going to have as guaranteed as a result as you are if you follow these two things. Now, what are those two things? Well, they are time and money. They're the only two currencies really that we have in this world. They're the things the clients really care about. So people care about how long is it going to take and how much is it going to cost. So let's boil that down with a mortgage. The questions they're going to be asking is, how much is it going to cost for me to get a mortgage, meaning fees, meaning stamp duties, everything else. How much is it going to cost me in stamp duty? How much is it going to cost me in deposit? How much is it going to cost me per month? How much is it going to cost? Money is a big, big factor, especially when it comes to content at the beginning, because it's the first time they're kind of thinking. Remember where they are in the client journey. They're right at the beginning. They're right at the point when everybody is kind of just thinking about it and all they think about is cost. So money is that one. So content all around that is going to do well. Now, there are networks out there that don't allow you to do this. If you work with one of those, my condolences to you. But the majority of you are able to do content like this. Now, the type of content I would do stuff like this is exactly that, hypothetical situations. So if I'm earning £25,000 a year, how much money can I borrow? How much deposit do I need in order to buy a house at 300,000? How much money do I need to earn to buy a house at 300,000? How much money can I borrow if I earn 60,000? What is the stamp duty on a 500 grand house? All of those things. And the more specific you can make them, hypothetical specifics, the better. How you do this though is when you're talking on the content, all you have to say is, look, this is hypothetical, it's not advice. If you want to go and speak to an advisor about your situation, I highly recommend you do that. Just make sure you highlight it's not advice. It's a bit like when you watch a doctor and they say, this is not medical advice, this is purely for educational purposes. Same type of thing with that. But money, big motivator. Second one is time. So how long is it going to take? How long is it going to take for me to move in? How long is it going to take for me to see a broker? How long is it going to take for the offer to be done? How long is it going to take for the estate agent to actually talk, and get me to book a viewing? How long in general? How long a search is going to take? How long is it going to take for the housing association to come back and buy a shared ownership? Just how long? Length of time, again, time is another one. Or how much effort do I need to put in? So how much time do I need to put in? That's another one. How much time do I have to spend? So time and money are the two biggest motivators. And yet we don't do that. What we often do as brokers is talk about other things. And you can do that too. You can do, but we'll talk about other random stuff. But if you're not factoring in some form of time and money or money concept into it, it's not going to get as best a result as you want. So my advice to somebody, I was just speaking to a client about this now, I said, if it was me, I would just be doing time, money, time, money, time, money. I would just have that as a rotation of my Instagram reel, Facebook reel kind of strategy. Every single one is just time, money, time, money, time, money. And then from those time and monies, I would be going through any of the systems that I've already had previously, that the content time saver system. So that's like FAQs and what they call like storytelling and all that stuff. They're all still the same, but with the theme being running through them being time and or money. Now, I would recommend you stick to one if you're doing a short or a reel, but if you're doing a long video, like a YouTube video, or you're doing something like a podcast, that absolutely focus on both of them. But that thing, time and money, if it's not in your content, you're not maximizing the chance of somebody coming to speak to you. Now, bear in mind, all the content is designed to try and get them to book a call and have a conversation with you. That's all it's about. And we often get this so wrong. We're not trying to educate them to go and do it themselves. We're purely just trying to create content that makes them think you're the person they need to speak to find more about their problem. Nothing more than that. If you overcomplicate it, you actually will